Let's talk about cryptocurrency. Let's do it. There's been a whole bunch of really good stuff, and this one, Goblin Town, Goblin D's Nuts, has been just an amazing, amazing story about NFT bros and how most of them don't understand what NFTs are. They don't understand the technology whatsoever. And they've been real shocked by something that I've been saying in my videos for a long time. Me, the no-coiner, not a no-coiner anyway, the person who clearly knows nothing about the technology. Goblin Town NFT images all changed to an illustrated middle finger in protest about royalties. But how could they do this? It's an NFT. I own it. I own the art. It's on the blockchain, of course. How could somebody do this? This is crazy. They've obviously hacked the system right. No. This is how NFTs work, at least the majority of them, of course, because storing data on-chain would mean that the data gets bigger and then, of course, requires more gas, more fees to actually make anything go through, which means nobody's storing this data. Images are too big for most blockchains right now. So what they do instead is they just have it's just a link. It's metadata that points to a link, just like anything else. Like if I open up Google right now and open an image, if I click the source, it's going to show, hosted on this website. It's going to say the link, https:// where it is located. And if that server goes down, the NFT shows nothing because it's not pointing to anything. If I go to that server and change what that file is, and the file path remains the same in the metadata of the NFT, it points to the new thing. So imagine people's shock when they woke up and found that their Goblin Town NFTs are now a middle finger. Middle fingers in the air for the NFT boys. So there's been an ongoing controversy in the NFT world over creator royalties. Although NFTs are often talked up as being good for artists because they enable royalties to be paid even after the initial sale, these payments are rarely enforced by the smart contract and are instead up to marketplaces to enforce. Now imagine this, the marketplace, which usually is a centralized hub in a decentralized world, supposed to be giving power to people by, maintaining control of the contracts and your assets and your money, putting that in the hands of people like OpenSea, and then OpenSea saying, we're not going to enforce the fees that should be going back that is in the code. Code is law. No, centralization is law. In the last 6 months or so, NFT marketplaces have emerged that follow a royalty optional model, sparking a race to the bottom where OpenSea and other incumbents have also cut royalty protections to remain competitive. Although NFTs are often thought to be immutable, permanent links to their associated artwork, that's often not the case in practice. Many NFTs store metadata off-chain or otherwise enable after-the-fact changes. Of course they do. We've been saying this. We've been telling you this. We've seen this happen where people have sold NFTs as a collection and it's like, oh, look at this art. And then after the fact, they steal all the money and change all of the images to a rug because you've been rug pulled. Goblin Town is a collection of NFTs that launched in May 2022, quickly going viral and sparking a phenomenon on Twitter Spaces where members spent hours making goblin noises into their microphone. Oh my god. Brother in Christ, I know if you're in NFTs, you've already got problems. But if you are going on Twitter Spaces for a free NFT, originally free to mint, and sitting in a Twitter space with a bunch of other fucking strangers, sharing a bond of buying JPEGs that, as we're going through here, aren't really a JPEG, they're a link to a potential JPEG, making goblin noises, you need help. Get help, please. The NFTs began selling for thousands of dollars on the secondary market. Now they trade for around 0.3 ETH, $800 a piece. In an apparent protest against the willingness of traders and marketplaces to stop honoring royalties, Truth Labs, man, it never ends, does it? It never ends. The group behind Goblin Town changed the artwork for Goblin Town and all of their NFT collections to an illustration of a dancing middle finger, with smaller middle fingers emerging from where its arms and genitals would be. The new image reads, "Fuck royalties, fuck supporting building the creatives, flipping is the heart of what makes Web3 special. Honor the flipper, fuck the community, long live the slow rug." At the bottom, the image states Goblin Town, Illuminati, the 187, the Grumples will be migrating to new contracts before Monday the 17th of April. All hodlers will be airdropped identical replacement NFTs The new NFTs will enforce royalties on-chain, preventing marketplaces from allowing users to circumvent them. So if you're not getting what they've done here, they've taken something that had value, that people thought they owned, made them into something completely different that is not what they bought. You paid for something, you got a product and you thought, I own this. But in reality, you don't. It would be like if you went and bought a new TV. You put it in your living room, you turned it on, you put it onto slideshow mode or whatever, and you had your very favourite monkey JPEGs going across with some really ambient music on. You know, some soft piano playing, maybe a little bit of jazz. You sat there with your glass of wine, you're drinking it, you're looking at it, you're thinking, man, this was fantastic. You go to bed, you wake up, you come downstairs, and no longer is there a TV, there's a man stood there flipping you off. And you go, oh man, I thought I owned a TV. And they say, no you didn't, you own what I fucking tell you you own, because it's on our server, we control it. All you own is a receipt to something that might be the thing that you owned, not actually the thing all of the time. And of course they're saying they're going to airdrop new ones, which changes the code of what is actually allowed. Essentially means that it's just obviously showing you that what you thought you owned is what they're letting you own, because they can do this with anything. They can do this as many times as they want to. And they can do this on almost any of the popular NFT collections on ETH. And in a way, they do have a point. If it says that we will get royalties and then for the work that we did, and then people are just like, no, fuck your royalties, we're not going to support your project. Instead, we're going to pay a couple $100 less and you get nothing, even though this was one of the guiding principles of the entire, NFT space. Then in a way, I don't massively disagree with them. But obviously this is funny in the face of what people think NFTs are versus what NFTs really are. Some embraced the new NFTs while others accused Truth Labs of rugging. Some people were horrified by the fact that NFTs that they owned could be changed after the fact without their consent, a fact they were previously not aware of. One owner wrote, so you're telling me I spent thousands of dollars and have 10 Goblin Towns for them all now to be dudes shaking their wieners? Yes. Now read that one back to yourself and ask, why the fuck am I, one, doing that, and two, talking about it on the internet? So we'll read some of the NFT bro comments here. NFT Gen says, Yuga, which is the Bored Ape people, recognized that in order to change people's NFTs, you need consent. No, you don't. They own it. They have the option to burn the other deed for a new NFT plus incentivize the burn by adding a new claim, a vessel. What if someone doesn't consent to this changing and being unable to sell even for a short period of time? Tough fucking luck. Tough titty, as they used to say back in my day. Centralized decision making is what this space is fighting for. Not giving your holders the chance to take this decision goes against the ethos of this space. Projects shouldn't be allowed to take these drastic decisions on their own. Granted, the result is valuable, but where's the line of what should projects be allowed to do and what is not? This is where centralization gets dicey too, because centralization isn't bad, but the line gets blurry and hence a concept always susceptible to be exploited. But everyone tells me NFTs ownership and you own it. And I'm wrong and I don't know anything about cryptocurrency or NFTs or blockchain, because I say, no, you don't own it. What you own is a receipt to something you think you own, but somebody else owns. And if somebody else decides, who controls the thing, that you don't own it anymore, or that it doesn't have value anymore, or they don't want to host the service anymore, you don't own shit. And people always tell me, you just don't get it. You don't understand, filthy no-coiner. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Just because you put money into something doesn't mean you're right. It doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. Just because you changed your fucking Twitter bio to say .eth or OX or have a monkey JPEG doesn't mean you know more than the people that are criticizing the thing. And apparently this is not the first time this has happened. Look at this, whatever the fuck that's supposed to be, where they've done the same thing. And the funny thing is these were made for free. And then people traded them on the secondary market for thousands of dollars. They were made completely for free. So the people who made them were getting nothing for it the whole time. I love the space. I really do. So that's going to be that for this one. There's a whole bunch of crypto stories to go through here. I'll probably do that in a separate video for tomorrow, because undoubtedly there'll be more. But I've got to get back to reading the Nexon versus Iron Mace lawsuit that just dropped in the US, because that's going to be another video and it is mad interesting so far. It's going to illuminate a lot of things and be really worth talking about, but there's a whole lot of stuff to read. I've got like 7 legal documents to read through and they're fucking long, as you can see. So that might be up later, it might be up tomorrow, but either way, thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace out.